all the Royal Knights have been selected, and we already know where the next arc is going, because it is a full frontal invasion against Leet and the rest of the White-Eye Knights, because oh boy, did we immediately just get revealed the location. I thought this was going to be something that they were just going to be training for a while, but no, we are getting into the full frontal point of we've already found the head enemy's base. So one thing that was very interesting about this chapter with Clover is that most of it was dedicated to a flashback of like seeing Leet and a lot of like just how like his backstory was, like as we got to see like how a lot of the family used to live on there. And I'm not gonna lie, like there were some characters that you saw there. Like honestly, I might even suggest some of that being like the author kind of having some different kind of same designs. But when we saw Lee and his family and a bunch of people there was some familiar faces looking around there. Not gonna lie, there was a gauche looking motherfucker there. There was one that looked like the captain that we see, like the Azure Deer captain. So I might just like suggest that that might just be some artist like little foolery on there, because there were some names that we did here like Patuli and like a bunch of the other characters, like, and discussing bonds between humans and elf like on here. But this shows a much more happier time before all the shit happened in the bigotry and all that, like, because I saw that and I was like, oh shit, like, because we see that Lee like was this gap between the human and elf kind, and the fact of the matter is that he had a child and he was getting married, and like all the happy shit in the world, like everything was all nice and peachy. And we see one of the White Knights, like I forget what he's called, I know he's like the cowardly one and he has the ability of like illusion, but you just see him wake up crying, like he's there. He's just like, that goddamn dream again, huh? Like that, and talking about that the awakening is near. So I'm wondering, like, what exactly this means, since I think Leet wasn't fully awakened from what we were talking about last time. The tiny bit that we saw of Leet, and it's been a while. I think that was like the 5th volume, maybe 6th volume that we saw Leet and the rest of the White Knight. So, and we saw a couple of the characters like Vito since then, but like, it's been a while since we've seen the characters, so maybe it's about time to see like what the hell have they been up to. And like, it seems like they've just been recuperating. Like, it seems like they took quite a bit of heavy loss from last time, so kind of curious to see like what's going to be happening from there. Like, and especially with like a lot of the, when we go back to like Aster in the group, a lot of it's more like just comedy based, just like, oh, what the fuck and all that, like, Zora, you're here, like, and he's like, he's part of the Black Bulls, and it's like a bunch of comedy going from there. And it was not until like showed up where it's like, if you don't think you can handle this, Aster, then you should go back. Seeing him like wearing these robes down and saying, you know, the one who will be Magic Emperor is me after all, and like Aster's just smirking at him, and he's just like, you piece of shit, you know full well that that's gonna be me. And he's like, yo, give me that Royal Knight robe. And like, you see everyone donned in like these, honestly, like, the best way to describe them is they look like priest robes, honestly. Like, you look like some sort of holy church kind of, like, when you get to see them, it's like, oh, okay, then let's see all these guys. And there was quite a few characters like already showcased. Like, the Royal Knights is a huge band of selection of people. There are 20 members, like, adding into this. Like, this is including 2 other people that added into, I think it was like Cyritum, and like there was another guy on there, like Cobb Porter, like, was one of the other few people that were like, because their magic is so useful, we're adding them. And not adding that, Meliodas seems to be the head captain honcho of this like a band of people. And as well, one of the things as well, like, that was extremely like, huh, alright, you're a part of the group as well, another captain's joining. In total, having 3 captains added into this nozzle. Like, Silver, like, Noel's brother is going to be joining the Royal Knights. So it was like, okay, like, we're adding quite, this is like a huge, hefty, like, to add all the characters that are relevant into this arc are like already, like, we got Noel, Aster, Luck, Zora, they're all from the Black Bulls, adding into there. Then we've got Klaus, Yuno, and Mimosa being added into like the Golden Dawn group, and a couple, and then apart from that, we've got a bunch of the random odd teammates that we're having from the team, like the Mushroom Dude, the Ice Bitch, like that. We've got the Azure Deer captain. Adding them, 2 other Chuckle Fucks that are part of the group. Melaleona, like, is adding into there. And nozzle. Like, that is a hefty amount of characters that we are dealing with, and I'm happy then at least that we're getting like more characters and we're getting different parts of groups being added into there, since we have mainly been focusing on the Black Bulls. I was kind of hoping, if anything, though, like, if anything, I know, like, always, as always, that this series is pretty fast-paced when it comes to the manga. When you look at the anime, though, they do like to take their time with that. Not really trying to put shots out there, but, you know, just, it's a matter of fact. And you see this shit, and it's like, I was kind of hoping that we'd get a little bit of time in training with these characters, and like maybe that arc might show that, because we find out at the end of the chapter is that they're actually hiding out in a dungeon. Like this zero gravity dungeon, from what it seems like they're talking about, is these floating pillars in this lake. Like, and I was like, huh, okay. One, like, how the fuck are we going to get up there? Because I'm pretty sure these guys just can't take brooms and just get up there. Because I'm sure if this is their hideout, they surely have some defense on there. Two, not gonna lie, that looks like the fucking giant castle area at the end of Hungry Joker that they were supposed to go out there. And people know who read that series know. So I think Yuki Tabata was like, I want to use that shit I didn't get a chance to use. It's like from the last series I made. So fuck it, I'm doing that. So immediately, I'm looking forward to some of the shit that we got in there. I would personally, my one thing I want from this arc, I would like some fleshing out of the other characters on there. I feel like, of course, I think at the end of the day, we know the people that are going to be stealing the spotlight as per usual, but I would like some of these other characters to get built up a little bit. Some of the tournament did do that, but we've got quite an interesting array of magic, and considering that how many people did it take down to take down Vito, and we're crashing into there. We've got already a good couple of captains involved with here. We've got some high class like Golden Dawn members in there. We've got 4 members of like the Black Bull, which we've already seen Zora is very highly well acute to traps and everything. You got Noelle, who has clearly like surpassed her brother, like from what we've seen, and not Nozzle but one of their own. Like they're Asta and Yuno are going to be clearly like our main like strike force on there, and immediately we've got Luck as well, who's going to go straight in there, and a bunch of more unique trap users and special. Like, if anything, I would say if Finral would have been a lot more useful, but sadly he's still unconscious at this point, because they could just teleport and just get in and out from there. So anything like if they know that like there's a strike force on there, I'm wondering why they're leaving some characters out of here if they're gonna clearly add some in there, like Yami. Like what? Like why don't, like, if anything, you should get your highest motherfucking people here and just raid this place. Like you should purge this dungeon out of here. But I think generally they have a fear of like there is going to be an attack. Like they know, like I feel like they have a fear of like some people need to keep their normal duties. But we've got an issue as well, as like, if we send everyone all at once, we're gonna have a problem. But still, they've got some hefty captains in here, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm surprised they didn't send other people in there as well. And plus, we've got the suspicion as well, if people remember as well, that there's clearly there's some treachery afoot as well with a Golden Dawn member. We still don't know. I think it's still a lot of people are trying to put their like finger on the ass. William, that piece of shit, William Vengeance, he's still an asshole, but we'll have to wait and see like on there, because he's clearly like he's hiding some shit. He might know some shit about this, but we'll have to wait and see like where it's going to be going in the future and all that. But let's look forward to that. And also as well, what do you think about the whole elf thing as well, like being added into it? It was clearly added in like a lot later on, like when we got to see a little bit of like the backstory. But do you think there's clearly some connection between like the elves and demons, and that there were other races as well, like way before past in time? So looking forward to that. But that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys though next time.